Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. Today's video is all about starting sweet potato slips indoors. We're going to go over 5 different varieties. I'm going to show you how to do this in soil and in the classic, cup of water. Sweet potatoes are part of the morning glory family. They're tubers. They create tubers off of the root system. It's a little bit different than potatoes. Potatoes are part of the nightshade family. They create tubers off the stem. So sweet potatoes and potatoes are different. They're grown differently. Sweet potatoes like the warmth here in Maryland, zone 7, they really don't have to get into the ground until mid-May or later May. So you still have plenty of time. But in order to start slips, and the slip looks a little bit like this, the guy right down there, that's been in there for about 3 weeks. They're going to grow the green growth or purple growth in this case from the sweet potato. The sweet potato is going to feed it. You don't need to put any special fertilizer in there. You do need to keep it water, keep it moist. I'll show you how to do that. Once the growth is about 4 inches tall, you clip it, drop it into water. You have to let it root out. That can take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. So it is a bit of a process. You want to get started early. Also going to go over a couple of tips to help you be successful using peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, mosquito bits, and a heating pad. So here are 5 varieties. I have the purple sweet, the garnet, the Hannah white, the jewel, and the Japanese sweet. The purple sweet potatoes seem to be, generally speaking, the ones that really root quickly, put out the slips quickly. So if you're a little bit behind maybe the 8 ball and you're running out of time, try the purple sweet potatoes. I got these at Mom's Organic. They have a nice variety. Any sweet potato will work. However, I like going to the organic stores because they do name the sweet potatoes. You know what you're buying. If you go to kind of your general grocery store, you're going to just get a orange sweet potato that doesn't have a name. I found that variety, whatever it is, tends to rot more and doesn't produce the slips that you want. It doesn't get the green growth that you want. So there are a couple ways to do this. The classic way, and I'm going to do this with the Hannah white, is just 3 or 4 toothpicks in the side, and then it's just going to go right into a thing of water. Whoop. The bottom is usually where the bigger cut is, like that. That's where it was attached to the root. I've planted them, or I put them in water this way, that way. They still slip out, but it's better to put this connection into the water. And that's where it was connected to the root. That's the point right up here. Water will absorb into there. The slips will come out from different areas. And again, when they're 4 to 6 inches tall, you break them off and then you just put them into water. You're going to have to change the water about once a week. You don't want it to start to smell. You don't want it to get, moldy, all that kind of stuff. I use just a quick pour of peroxide in there. That helps keep the water clean, keeps it sterile, kills off any bacteria, and you have a little bit more success, I think, with cleaner water. And again, you're going to have to change the water about once a week. When we get to the alternative method, which is what I like, there are no holes in the pan, and you can, notice that that is just water. So you can't really overwater your sweet potatoes. You can underwater them. So you want to keep this mix moist. And you can see that I just watered this one. If you go and you press it, it's a dark brown. You can feel it's filled with water. That's good to go. These have been in here about 3 to 4 weeks. The growth is starting. The slips are starting. So to set this up, I do a couple things. Here's another quick tip too. So fungus gnats are often the problem of starting seeds indoors. So I have plenty of videos. I will link one in the video description. But I usually hydrate my seed starting mix, whatever, if I make it, buy it in a bag with boiling water. That helps to kill off any potential fungus gnat eggs. I also get, this is just a bag of mosquito bits that I buy. This is organic. I take, maybe this much, sprinkle it across the starting mix, and I mix it in. Once this contacts water, the bacteria that's in there, again, it's organic, does its thing, multiplies. If there were larvae of fungus gnats and sometimes other insects, but really specifically for the fungus gnats, this bacteria kills them off. So this is just a way to keep the soil nice and clean so you don't get fungus gnats. In here, I would put, sweet potatoes that size, 1, 2, 3. This is a really large one. I would just drop the sweet one. I would just drop the large sweet potato in there. You might be able to squeeze another one. I think we can actually. They're not competing with each other. So the garnet will just get worked into the soil like that. You can go down almost to the bottom. And then let's clear some of this out. The larger one's going to go right up here. And then just tuck the soil in around it. The sweet potato just needs to contact the water. You're going to just set it up something like that. Now this is pretty dry, so we'll get to a watering. And that's going to be perfect. You can do, as many trays as you want. You could use your seed starting tray. You do want about 2-inch sides, 5 centimeter sides, just so that it holds the moisture. Again, the key here is you don't want it to dry out. You can't really overwater it. So these guys will go into some other trays. Now, I have found the biggest difference for success is really using a heat mat. That's where I started, the one that has the slips on it. This is a heating mat that does not have a thermostat. You can see the full size. I would put your water-based starts just like that, or your soil-based starts right onto there. The warmth, this stays at about 85 degrees. There's no thermostat. If you don't have that, that's fine. If you don't want to spend the money on it, that's fine. It's just going to take longer for the slips. When this water stays at about 85 degrees, the seed starting mix stays at about 85 degrees, I find that the slips start much more quickly. So you're going to need, again, 4 to 8 weeks. And again, this is the 4th week. Sometimes they take off really quickly, you get lucky. But 4 to 8 weeks for the slips to get to about 4 inches, 10 centimeters. A little bit bigger is fine. And then you would cut them off. And this is basil. But you would just drop them into water. Make sure about this much of the stem is in the water. A good, inch, 2 inches, 2.5, 5 centimeters in the water. They're going to root out. Roots will come out over over about a 4-week period. And then they can be planted into the ground. So this whole process can be 4 weeks, 8 weeks just for the slips to form. Sometimes 10 weeks or 12 weeks, and then another week or so for the roots to form. So starting them now, February, March, April, May, you have plenty of time to get them into the ground. Some places you can put them out into the ground in June. They just like the warmth. So getting them out early is not going to make any difference. This is just 2 ways that you can start sweet potatoes. Over the years, I have found this is more successful for me for whatever reason, but you can do the classic water in a jar, toothpicks, seed starting mix in about 2-inch tray, a 5 centimeter tray. Just keep them watered. All right, let me just show you real quick how much water I put in here. The sweet potatoes are from Mom's Organic. I like going to the organic stores because they give you the name. So that's a Japanese sweet. You're just going to pick a sweet potato. It doesn't have to be big, small. Just make sure it's not soft, mushy, no damage. That's the garnet variety. This is also a purple type sweet potato, and then one below it is a Hana white. So this store has 4 or 5 different varieties. I'm going to get one of each. You're just looking for a solid potato. Don't want it to be soft, and just pick whatever one works for you. The small ones work just as well as the large potatoes. I forgot to talk about lighting. So your sweet potatoes, when they're just getting started, when the slips are just starting to form, they don't really need light. So you don't have to have them under grow lights. Even after they sprout, you can put your containers by a sunny window. They're going to grow fine. This could just sit on a windowsill. When it sits on a windowsill, it's going to be a little bit colder, and it's really hard to use a heat mat. So you're kind of just trying to figure out where you want this to grow. I like the heat mat, gets them growing. This is a light I use for when I'm shooting videos. It's an LED light, and I'm just going to sit it above the slips there, give them some light. Again, they can start perfectly fine just in the house, wherever you want, wherever it's warm. Once the slips start growing, place them near a window, put them under your grow lights, or you could use something like this. The extra light does make a difference, but I have grown them, sitting, at this table by the window, and the slips do pretty well. Once you put the slips, you break them off, put them into water, put them right on the windowsill, they'll get plenty of light. You're not trying to grow this perfect upper vine. You just want a really nice root system. You want to make sure that it's going to transplant well. The plant will take off, it will correct, it will use the sun, everything will be fine. down the line. So again, you don't have to over worry about the lighting when you're making sweet potato slips. Watering is pretty straightforward. You want the soil, this is nice and light. You can tell there's not a lot of moisture in there. And then when you come over to here, you can see how dark it gets. And when you touch it, it's saturated. So let's just start with the one that I just planted. So I just like to pour the water right on to the sweet potato. And that's a good amount of water. That will all settle down. I'll clean the sweet potato off. It's fine too if it's buried. There's no really worries about that. Another tip is you want to keep the tips covered. That tends to be where they sprout from. But I will go ahead, water this one in. And it's a good amount. Go ahead, fill the center. You hear that? That's because it was off camera. So I overflowed it a little bit. Just go slow and steady and then it'll be fine. So these are set up and good to go. You probably have to do this, once a week, depending on how dry it is in your house. And again, for the sweet potatoes, like over here, I'm just gonna water it in well. Make sure I don't make that mistake again. Let it sink in a little bit more. And that's all you really have to do. It's not difficult, you just need to give yourself that good, 2 to 3 months to make sure everything works out, just fine. For whatever reason, they can be slow to start growing, and the heating mat really does make a big difference. Again, this one's doesn't have a thermostat. I think it was maybe $12 or something like that. It's waterproof, easy to use, especially if you're someone like me and you spill too much water, or you spill the water over the side of the tray. If you're interested in seeds, I have a seed and garden shop. All the tomato and pepper seeds are $1.75 a pack. Every other seed is $1.50 a pack. Thanks so much for watching. And again, please check out my seed shop. And if you're interested in checking out a blog, I have a blog called The Rusted Garden, and you can find that at therustedgardenblog.com.